me just clean the lens. Excellent. Like this. Something like, no, a little upper. There you go. Something a little higher. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being part of the Check on English family. Today is a very special day, and we're going to have a couple of things that we're going to talk about. You see me like this, probably, right? Like, I'm not very like ready about what we're going to do. All right, felicidades, felicidades. Thank you very much. My wife is online. That's pretty awesome. Francesca, greetings to you. Tonight we're going to talk about perfect tenses. Sí, voy a hablar en inglés porque quiero que todo el trayecto sea en inglés para que ustedes también vayan practicando, right? I'll try to be as understandable as possible. But before we start talking about what we're going to talk about tonight, today's my birthday, so happy birthday to me. My wife and my family, they prepared surprises for me. I say surprises because when I went to my afternoon shift class today, I had a surprise. They had balloons, not like this one, but the other type of balloons. And they had a cake that was pretty awesome. It was really, really good. And we had a very nice time, a very good time. Then at night, when I went to the evening class, happened the same. My students, they received me with a surprise, and that was pretty much awesome. I also got a gift, something, and that was from one of my students. I just suspect it's alcohol or something like that, probably wine. Yeah, they told me it was wine. Yeah, I think so. And my balloon right here, right, was from my wife. It says happy birthday, Jerson, which is my name. It has the Batman logo. It's very nice. So today is a very special day. I'm incredibly happy because a lot of surprises. Wow, I was not expecting them, and this is pretty much awesome. As you know, guys, we are here every night just to make sure that you're going to practice, and remember that you always need to have pen or pencil and a notebook, because I still don't have a whiteboard, but soon I'm going to get it, and we're going to have more examples, because when we live, right, it's kind of difficult to have all the information, because I'm not preparing the video and all that. But anyways, one of my students asked me, ex-students, one from last year, asked me to talk about perfect tenses. And I think it's a very good topic. I think you're not listening to me, are you, right? Probably you're not, because let me get it. Now, yes. I didn't have the microphone. I don't know what I was thinking. Bah, things happens. Radisson, you online. What were you saying? Happy birthday for me to you. All right, from me. It is from me to you. All right, cool. Today was a very hot day here in the Dominican Republic, but we're used to it. We're Dominicans. We live in a tropical weather country. But all right, that's it. Let's start talking about perfect tenses. Perfect tenses, like the name says, they are perfect because present, bro. Right. Oh, Friday, how you doing, bro? Um, Send you greetings. All right, perfect tenses. First off, we're going to talk about present perfect. The present perfect is perfect because, do you have an idea why the present perfect is present perfect? Isabel, hello, how are you? Good, you're in. Um, right, as I was saying, present perfect is perfect because you have the opportunity to repeat one action that you started in the past, to repeat it up to the present, because you can repeat something that you did in the past. That's right, Radisson. That's very, very nice. Yeah, you're right. Oh, I see you still remember what we were talking last year. That's pretty much good. So present perfect because you have one action that started in the past and you have the opportunity to repeat that action again in the present. So it will be something like in the timeline. The timeline is when you have present, past. Um, yeah, that's pretty good that you keep on practicing. I know for sure you're going to become a teacher soon. I know that for sure. Um, so yeah, I was talking about the timeline. The timeline is when you have the present and the past. So you're going to see in that timeline the present, what is happening now, right? Which is now, right now, and the past, which is obviously something that already happened. Nice. You have the timeline. So present perfect is one action that started in the past and is going to cover all this time up to the present. That is present perfect. Is one action that you started in the past and is going to cover all the time up to the present. It's very easy. I was telling you it is perfect because you have the opportunity to repeat the same action. One example of that is, all right, let's say you guys are trying to learn English, but one day in the past you started. One day you started. So, as that day you started, you continued learning English. So, you see, that is present perfect. So, let's say other example like drive. You have learned to drive, right? But you had one day that you started in the past. So let's say that day was last Monday. All right, there is an example. Radisson has one example right there. I have learned English since 2017, which is a very amazing example. I'm going to explain now, right, something he was using in that example. He was using the subject first, which is I, plus have. Two things that are very important to formulate the present perfect. So present perfect, subject plus auxiliary verb have. Now, what is the point? All present perfects, all of them, I mean, not present perfect, all perfect tenses, because we also have past perfect, remember. So all tenses are expressed with past participle. So if you say have, I have, then the next verb, right? Because you have the auxiliary verb have, and then you have one verb. So that verb needs to be past participle. Simple, right? So I, which is the subject, have, which is the auxiliary verb, plus past participle, that in this case, Radisson's example says, learned? Yes. Right? So I have learned English since, wait, 1 second. My love, un segundo. People have been interrupted. So I will need one small pause. I'll be back to you soon. Stay tuned, right? Stay tuned. I'll be back. Wait. Sorry, guys. I can't explain that. For sure, I can't explain it. Happens that my wife stayed up to go live with you. And she's coming right now from my parents' house, and she needed my help. I'm a little tired, but don't worry. My gosh. Um, yes, I was telling you that the present perfect, right, is subject plus auxiliary verb have plus past participle. Now, happens something. When we are using the third person singular, it is, oh my gosh. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry. I was telling you that when we use the third person singular, we don't use have. Why don't we use have? We don't use have because the action of the auxiliary verb, the form of the auxiliary verb changes. So we don't say have. We say, what do we say? Is somebody there that can tell me what is the form? There you go, Friday. The form in third person, and very good, Radisson, is has. That's it. Has. H-A-S. That's the way we use to express verb has or auxiliary verb has, have in third person. So for example, when you're going to use, oh, guys, can you tell me one example using the third person singular? Can you share that with us so we can use that example? In the meanwhile, I'm going to say that it's very important, all of you guys, to remember that we use first the subject plus the auxiliary verb have or has, and then the next verb is going to be expressed with the past participle time. So you need to remember those three things. Afterwards, you can use the rest of the sentence. All right, so we have here two examples. Example number one from Radisson says, Roberto, which is the third person, right? Roberto, what is the third person for Roberto? Is he, right? So Roberto has worked in where? Mario's yo man, why you use Mario's supermarket? All right, good. That's a good example. Roberto has worked in my or at. We can use at because we're referring to one specific place, right? So Roberto has worked at Mario's supermarket or Mario's supermarket for the last 3 years. So you see, we are including a lapse of time that started in the past and continue happening up to the present. And we have Frider's example that says, it has been my for a long time ago. Oh, it has been mine. It will be, right? Which is the possessive, right? It has been mine for a long time, right? We can also say just for a long time because that is including just the past time. We is not needed to say ago, right? Because when we say ago, we are referring to the time, right? So it has been mine. It has been mine for a long time. Imagine we're talking about a car, right? The car has been mine for a long time. So that was very good example, right? We're using one time in the past, and that is continue happening up to the present. And then Friday sent another example that says the car has been mine again for a long time, right? The car has been mine, right? Mine, M-I-N-E, mine. The car has been mine for a long time. Yeah, excellent. That is talking about present perfect. But remember that we also have past perfect. In the past perfect, we have the same rule, is the same rule. The only thing that changes, you know what it is? We're talking about the past perfect. You know what is the only thing that changes in the past perfect tense? Did you know that, guys? Did you remember? There you go, Radisson. Very well. We use the auxiliary verb have, but this time expressed in the past time. So we don't say have. Alexandra, hello, how are you? Welcome. So we don't use the verb, the auxiliary verb have expressed in the past tense. So the past tense is had. So guys, go ahead and think of one example with past perfect. And you're going to think of one for whatever subject, and then you're going to think of one example for the third person, right? We're going to see the differences between present perfect and past perfect. Remember, in the present perfect, we use have for all subjects. For I, you, we, they. We use the same auxiliary verb, which is have, but it changes when we use the third person singular. When we use the third person singular, we use has. Please remember that. So, do you have the example for the past perfect tense? I want to see you participating, guys, right? This is, remember, we're interacting. It's not only me. I want you to participate, practice with me. That's what I want. But anyways, right? One example, remember, we need to use the same structure. Three things: subject and the auxiliary verb have, but expressed in past tense. So we don't say have, we say had, which is the past time of the verb have. So subject plus the auxiliary verb have expressed in past, and then past participle. Now, when we have the timeline, what are we expressing with past perfect? The timeline, right? We have the past, we have the present. What we are expressing with past perfect is something very simple. You see, this is the present, right? So it's going to be one time that finished in the past, but started in the past as well. So something started in the past and finished in the past as well. So imagine this is the timeline, right? We have the past time when it started and the past time when it finished. So later we have the present. So past perfect is one time that started in the past and also finished in the past. So basically what we are saying is that that present perfect of that action that started in the past and finished in the past, in the present, no, sorry, it never finished, right? It never finished. So one action that started in the past and continue happening up to the present is over. That's what I meant, right? So when it finished in the present, now it is past perfect. So the present perfect that now is not present because it's over. Imagine the example from Roberto, which was working at Mario's, right? So Roberto has worked at Mario, right, for 2 years. 2 years, right? Or the last 2 years, whatever is okay, right? Whatever form we use is okay. So Roberto has worked at Mario's for 2 years. If Roberto finished working there or he was fired, let's say, that present perfect now moves to the past to transform that time, that present that now is past, to a past perfect tense. That's it. And so past tense is expressed the same way, right? I was telling you, subject and the verb, the auxiliary verb have expressed in past, plus the verb expressed in past participle. Ready, so it's a kind of parenthesis. Yep. If you see there in those two parentheses, right, there is one line in the middle of those two parentheses symbols, and then the line continues, right? So that period of time in the past is past perfect. Oh, people is greeting on Messenger. I will answer later. Just to finish this part, guys, you remember the example of Roberto, right? Roberto has worked at Mario for 2 years, let's say. If we're going to express that time in past, we say Roberto had. Remember, you need to use the auxiliary verb have in past tense. So Roberto had worked. So probably you may confuse. Sometimes the simple past And you may think that worked is also simple past, but it is not. Remember, we cannot have two simple past verbs together one after the other if they are not separated by a comma. Don't forget that. You cannot have two simple past verbs one after the other if they are not separated by a comma. So the past perfect is different. Don't forget, auxiliary verb have in past, which is had, plus past participle. They both are different. And I need to remember you guys that you need to work very hard the verbs expressed in the three times: present, simple past, and past participle. They are three different ways to express the verbs. And we all, I include myself, we all need to be familiar with all the tenses: present, past, past participle, and I include the future. So thank you guys for being here tonight. I hope this lesson tonight has helped you a lot. So you see, I used the present perfect. I hope that tonight what we talked has helped you a lot. Then in the past is had helped you. Nice. Thank you guys for being here. Remember, we are a family, and I hope to see you tomorrow, same time, same channel. Check on English. Greetings for all of you guys: Radisson, Friday, Isabel, Alex, my wife that I know she's there, my mother, my father, and everybody. I love you all, and happy birthday to me again. Bye.